Hey everybody, my name is Alyssa Ann Austin. I'm the founder of career development website Poised and Professional and the author of 35 Days of Confidence. Hi, I haven't done a live on here in maybe ever, so I'm very excited to be doing one with you today. I came up with this idea for perhaps an ongoing series, although I don't want to fully commit myself to that right away, called Real Talk Tuesday. Because I feel like there's a lot of just misconceptions out there around all the things that I love to talk about. Things like resumes, things like the job search, things like the interview process, personal branding strategy. There's a lot of people with very strong opinions on things that you must do or must not do. And frankly, a lot of those things I just disagree with. So I decided to come up with this Real Talk Tuesday segment, which may or may not be ongoing, to just kind of address some of those things on a semi-regular basis. So the first thing that I want to talk about today is your resume. Specifically, a myth around the length of your resume and the idea that your resume, your professional resume, has to be one page. Real Talk Tuesday, absolutely not. Unless you are a very recent college graduate, or if you have, let's say, less than 3 years of professional experience, your resume does not have to be one page in length. Frankly, if you have more than 3 years of professional experience, if you have 5 years of professional experience, 10, 15, 20, if your resume is one page, I'm seeing that as a recruiter and going, what? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. So that can actually be working as a disadvantage towards you and making you look way less experienced and accomplished than you actually are. So let's talk about that. If you are a recent college grad or if you have less than 3 years of experience, one page resume is perfect for you. Don't go crazy. That's going to be a good format for you to be able to fit all of your experience, and it's going to be able to allow you to fit in some of those really juicy sections on your resume that are going to make a difference in terms of framing your experience. Specifically, some identifiers. If you're a follower or a client of mine, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, I'll talk about how you can get in touch with me at the end of this video. Your identifiers, a summary, your areas of expertise, all of that should be on your resume before you even get into your experience. So if you have less than 3 years of experience, you're going to be able to do that in one page. You're going to be able to have those sections as well as your recent work experience. But if you have more than that, that's going to become very difficult, nay, impossible. So I'm here to dispel that myth that your resume has to be one page if you are in the mid to late stages of your career. Frankly, you're putting yourself at a technical disadvantage if you're doing that. In today's day and age, we all know what a big role things like ATS, applicant tracking software, what a big role that plays in the job search, right? More often than not, when you're submitting your resume on online platforms, it's being screened by robots basically, and not actually real people. And what those robots are looking for are specific keywords, specific parameters, specific qualifications that have been set by the recruiter and the HR team. So if you have just one page of content, you're doing yourself a disservice in terms of the depth of keywords and those important phrases that are going to actually help you in that screening process. If you give yourself a nice, healthy 2 pages, you're really going to be able to include the content that's going to make a difference in terms of that, getting past that first line of defense with the applicant tracking software, right? Just in terms of numbers, 1 page versus 2 pages of content, 2 pages is going to give you much more opportunity to be screened and seen as qualified in the eyes of these robots, which is what they are. So make sure you're using that, right? Make sure that you're really looking at the job descriptions that you are interested in, looking at the language that's being used and incorporating that language, as long as it is truthful to your experience, in your resume, and use the amount of real estate that you have. Which brings me to kind of my next point. 2 pages is industry standard for most industries for resumes. No one is going to bat an eye if your resume is 2 pages. Once we get into 3 pages, things get a little dicey. And there's really no need for that unless you are in the academic space and using more of a CV, where that's kind of the recommended and expected format. Also military resumes and government resumes, which are crazy and very, very, very long. But regardless of those two industries, oh, and one more. So education, military and government, and also acting. Acting, you need a 1-page resume. So that's on the other side of the scale. Education and military government resumes can be very, very long. Acting resumes should only ever be 1 page. Every other industry other than that, the industry standard is pretty much going to be 2 pages. So you're always, always, always going to be fine with a 2-page resume if you're not in any of those 3 industries that I just mentioned. Most employers will not bat an eye at this, so don't worry about it. So that's the Real Talk Tuesday that I wanted to address today in terms of resume length. So now that you have some of that information, if you're feeling like your resume is too short, if you felt like you had to be at 1 pages and you're realizing, wow, I actually, have about 10 years of experience, I could definitely stand to expand my resume beyond that, then reach out to me. I'm always happy to take a look at resumes and provide a free audit and just some feedback to help you improve your resume. So you can always, always, always send me your resume at poisedandprofessionalcoach@gmail.com. I'm more than happy to take a look. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Let's talk about it. I love talking about resumes, and I hope to hear from you and see your resume soon.